he is a friend of the show. And of course, after that victory, we had to talk to him. So he joins us now via the Magic Skype. Look at that. Future so bright, he's got to wear the shades. Boom Kelleher in the house. How about that? Congratulations, my
I
man.
came into. I got something for you.
Okay, okay, okay.
I came into this game and nobody knew my name. Took out the former world champ. I'm a lion you can't tame. Self belief is key, so I open up the lock. Would have had him knocked out if it wasn't for the clock.
Ah, yeah. Boom. My man, boom. How
Boom.
about that? Way to go. Wow. That was good stuff. Was that a freestyle right off the bat, off the top of your head?
No, I can't lie to you. I wrote that
Okay.
down. So
You should have said yes. No one would have known.
no, I came up with it like really fast, but I wrote it down just in case. I didn't want to mess it up on the big show, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. Where are you right now? Are you still in Florida?
Yeah, I'm still in Florida. Yeah, I'm in Orlando right now.
You're taking some vacation time?
Yeah, I'm here till Tuesday. Tomorrow I fly out. I had my girlfriend and my mom came in yesterday, and we're just spending some extra time hanging out with the family. And my brothers are here and everything, so it's pretty cool.
Wait, your girlfriend and mom came after the fight?
Yeah, it's funny. Like my older brother came here for the fight. He was in the crowd with my younger brother's friend. I had my dad and my other brother in my corner. I just like with my girlfriend and my mom. Like I just feel like they bring more nervous energy around me. So I'm like, I'm just straight focused. Like I wait to see them after the fight.
Okay, fair enough. And it went well. I mean, what a stage, what an opportunity, what a fight, what a performance. You've been through so much. Considering all of that, considering who you beat and the stage. I mean, this could sound crazy, but I have to ask it. Would you say that was the greatest moment of your career thus far on Saturday?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, this guy haunted me for like weeks and weeks. You know, like before I would go to sleep, I would visualize that I was fighting this guy. You know, who I looked up to before I got in the UFC. You know, as a former world champion, dreaming of days like this. And then there I was in the cage living it, and I was like, this is unbelievable. But this is what I want. This is where I belong, and this is how I'm gonna prove, you know, my worth.
You talked on the show about the nerves going into the debut, and of course you've had several fights since then. But you just said that he haunted you in your dreams, and he is a former champion. Were you more nervous than usual going into this fight? You know, the trip out, fight week, Saturday night. How did you feel?
Yeah, you know what? I would say I was more nervous like leading up to the fight, but for the actual fight, I'm very professional with my mindset and how I get into like an unfazed mode before I get in the cage. So, you know, before the fight, I'm ready to go. I have killer instinct in me, and that's it. You know, I don't care who it is across from me. But leading up to the fight, I just kept thinking Renan Barao, like thinking about the days where he knocked out Faber and he was world champ and everything. And I was like, wow, man, like I'm losing sleep over this guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, getting in the cage, I felt supreme confidence. I knew I belong here, and I knew I could beat this guy.
What is it like when you're in the cage and you're actually staring at him and Bruce Buffer saying his name, Renan Barao, former champion? What is that like for you? As like, because I know you're not only an MMA fighter, but you're a fan of the sport. You watch all the fights. Is that surreal?
Oh, 100%. I was like, I feel like everything I usually do before my fight, like I have a little routine. I kind of put my arms out, you know, Buffer calls my name. Like I was like lost in the moment. I was just like in awe, like, all right, here we go. Like, oh my God, there he is. You know, I'm always like sizing up my opponents too. And like, I don't know, I feel like I make my opponents bigger than they are sometimes in my head. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was weird. Like looking across, and I'm like, here I am fighting this guy now. Like I can't believe I'm living this right now. This is crazy. But then I had to focus and forget about all that and just get into the fight. But it's funny because I usually start a little bit slow, and it's kind of like a feel out process. But once I get hit, like he was kicking me with that calf kick was catching me, and I was like, man, this guy's trying to hurt me. And that's when I turned it up, and I was like firing back. You know.
Are you happy with your performance? I mean, obviously you got the win and it was unanimous, and most judges, I think, if not all, had it 30-27. Did you like after the fact? Are you happy? Did you feel like okay, that was the best that I could do?
Yeah, you know what? I'm really happy with my performance. A lot of people don't understand the game planning and you know the technical things that goes into fighting a certain guy. Of course, you always want to be exciting, and I know that third round was amazing. But Renan is a guy that gasses out towards the later rounds, and he doesn't do that by going with his pace and coasting and just striking back and forth with him at a certain pace. Like I was clinching with him on purpose because he's a guy that has a lot of lactic acid buildup in his muscles when you clinch with him and you make him defend takedowns. I wasn't even going for most of the takedowns 100%. I was doing that to just get him to defend, get him to worry about it. And then in the third round, which I usually go into fights thinking I'm going the distance no matter what. You know, you can never predict that a fight's going to end early. So I'm ready to go full 3 rounds, go to war. It doesn't matter. But third round, I usually is my best round. And that's where like I find out what a guy's looking for. I can see what he has. I felt all his punches. I wasn't fazed by anything. So I can let loose now, you know? And so that's what I did towards the later round. I looked in his eyes. I was hurting him with a lot of shots. I see his eyes roll back. He's on wobbly legs. I tried to take the guy out, man. I was, like you said, I was like 10 seconds away from a KO, I believe.
Yeah, you really felt that. You really felt like he was on his last legs?
100%. I actually saw the referee in the corner of my eye during that exchange, like kind of trying to step in closer, but then he would step away right after. So I'm like, man, I was throwing bombs in there, just trying to take this guy's head off, you know, like, and I saw his eyes, like I said, just rolling back. He was on wobbly legs. Like he almost sat down a couple of times, but like you saw with the Dillashaw fight, it doesn't matter, man. That guy just does not get KO'd, you know,
Sure.
it's really hard to put him away.
Were you upset that you couldn't finish him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after looking back, I'm like, man, if I could have just TKO, KO right there at the end, that would have really sealed the deal on making a statement, you know, because a lot of the other guys that Barao's fought that are at the top, the current world champion, you know, they couldn't put him out within 3 rounds, you know. So I really wanted to make that statement. So it sucks to like look back at it and be like, man, 10 more seconds, I had this guy's number. But either way, to be able to beat him and to look good against him like that and come out victorious, I'm happy.
You've obviously never fought him before, but you've watched him a ton. Is that the same Renan Barao, or is this a guy who's lost a step? And of course, you know, you and others have mentioned the USADA thing. How would you assess who he is today compared to the championship days?
Yeah, you know what? This is a topic that's kind of been on my mind. I'm a guy that's like on social media looking at all the comments, and like a lot of people kind of write him off like he sucks. You know, like they discredit my victory because they think that Barao is washed up and everything. But I'll tell you, man, when I was in there, he felt sharp. He looked in really good shape. I mean, he was as lean as I've ever seen him. And you know, with the USADA thing, like I never make an accusation. Who is to say that they saw him put a needle in his ass, you know what I mean, and take the steroids? It's just like he looks different. Yeah, maybe he's a little bit more bloated, a little bigger in the past, but that doesn't really necessarily prove anything, you know? He's 31 years old. I'm the same age. He's training at an ATT, and you got guys who've never fought in their lives saying, like, he's washed up, he's this, he's that. Like, man, I'll tell you, I believe in my power. I hit that guy hard, and I almost KO'd him and put him away. Like, you can't discredit my win because of thinking, you know, he's washed up because the current world champion took his soul or whatever. You know, I know
Sure.
TJ took a lot out of him with that win, but that doesn't mean Barao's not a great fighter and not a championship level fighter.
By the way, what's the aftermath like when you win like that against someone like Barao on Big Fox? Does it feel different? Is the aftermath, you know, the reaction, is it different than say a win on FS1 or Fight Pass, things like that? Do you notice a difference?
I mean, not really. I mean, it was cool to get a little bit of limelight with the interviews and everything backstage after. That was cool. I'll tell you what, the Orlando crowd got loud for me with that boom after the fight.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah. That
pretty
was
cool
good.
to hear. But yeah, that was nice. And I ran up to DC, and actually, you know what's funny? I don't even know if they caught this on TV, but after my fight, my brother's friend actually came up with this idea, and it came to me last second. I did a curling celebration. I don't know if anyone saw that. I did the curling thing,
Oh
and then
wow.
my brother and me were like chopping away at it, and the crowd was cracking up, but I don't think they got it on TV.
Oh man, I didn't see that either. But maybe I was focusing on something else. But that is a great idea, very timely of you. You also, speaking of timely, you tweeted this morning, because it has been a hot topic with Josh Emmett and Jeremy Stevens about what Dan Migliotta told you in the locker room. Because I was surprised to hear Jeremy say that he told him that, you know, lifting the hand even if you're down is legal. I do believe, with all due respect, again, to Jeremy Stevens, that he's confusing two rules. But I was just curious, since you tweeted it, tell us, what did Dan tell you about the new rules in Florida?
Yeah, I agree. I think Stevens is confusing the rules. And what Dan told me was that, yes, if you're on your feet and you're reaching down playing that touch game, that's no go. In Florida, you can't put your fingertips down and you're not, you're not a downed opponent if your fingertips are down and you're reaching like that. But if your palms are fully down, then you're a grounded opponent. Now, if you're on one knee or two knees, you're a grounded opponent. And I believe Emmett was on both of his knees when Stevens threw that knee. Whether it hit or not, I think the guy's intentionally throwing a knee to hurt you, to knock you out. That's an illegal strike. I mean, that's my opinion, but that's how Dan Mergliotta explained it to me in the locker room, and I understood clear. I know I don't play games when I fight. I don't try to trick the guy like, oh, I'm down, I'm not, because I mean the he's in the heat of the moment. He's gonna throw the strike at you. So
Right.
I think maybe Jeremy Stevens just confused the rule.
Have you gone to Disney World yet?
No, no, I haven't gone, man. I'm such a simple guy that like I don't even want to deal with traffic. I don't want to deal with any of that nonsense. Like I don't get crazy with drinking. Like I got a smoothie with kale in it right here. You know what I mean?
Yes. The good
The
life.
champ shake.
So no Disney World celebration for you.
No, no Disney World. Just kind of walking around town, enjoying the sun, going up to the pool on the at the hotel, like just relaxing with my family. That's all I need. We had a good dinner last night, and I'm happy.
So you say you want John Lineker in Atlantic City, is that right?
Yeah, I would love John Lineker in Atlantic City. I got some bumps and bruises now, but I'm healing up pretty quick. I already feel a little better since the fight. And, I don't know, I'll probably be back in the gym within like a week or so. So it's about 2 months away. I mean, I'm for sure going to be ready for then. I don't know about him, but yeah, I think that's a great matchup for me. I think a lot of guys are afraid of his power, and I'm not one of those guys, man. Like, I'll get in the pocket and exchange. I really believe in my chin. And, I didn't feel phased by one punch that Barao threw in this fight. I got hit. I got hit a bunch, but I didn't really feel it. It didn't rock me. It didn't phase me. So I'm willing to get in there and take Lineker out.
Do you hear anything back from the UFC? Do you know if they're interested in this? Where do things stand 2 days later?
I know that Lineker's manager, I think it's Davis. I don't know his
Yeah, Alex
first name.
Davis. Yep, Alex.
Yeah, Alex Davis. Yeah, he actually approached my manager, I think, and was like, "Does he really want that fight?" And my manager was like, "Yeah, I mean that's what he called out for." So I think that they'll take interest in it, and I think after this performance, the UFC will definitely look into that.
Yeah, man. I mean, not a lot of people are actively, and you are actively calling out John Lineker. Why him? Did you just feel like he's the next best step? Like you said, a lot of people don't ask for John Lineker. Why do you keep asking for him?
Yeah, you know what? It's one of those things where, like, after my debut, I fought a ranked guy, and I figured if I take this guy out, if I finish him, that they might give me that fast track. So the next guy I thought was, okay, let's be the Brazilian killer, which I just took out another Brazilian. So I'm like, you know what? Let's stick to this theme. Let's call out John Lineker. I think he's a good matchup for me. And yeah, he's number 6 or 5. So my goal is the title. That's my ultimate goal. So whatever's gonna bring me closer to that, I'm going for that. And I think Lineker's a guy right now. He doesn't have a fight. He was supposed to fight Rivera, pulled out of that fight. Now he's probably looking for a new opponent to fill in. So I'm the guy, man.
You took a big step on Saturday, Brian. You really did. Congratulations on the win. Very cool to see how far you've come. Less than 2 years ago, you're asking New York Rick to take you to 205. Now you're knocking out essentially Renan Barao on Fox. You're seconds away from finishing the former champion. I mean, look at you. Look where you're at. Shades on. Look at him still sitting in the back there, right? I mean, unbelievable where your lives have gone. You talk about sliding doors. Unbelievable.
You would think New York Rick would be in your chair by now. I'm here beating Renan Barao, and
Yeah.
he's still
Still.
back there, behind the scenes.
When he called you,
Unbelievable.
did he even congratulate you? He probably didn't even congratulate you, right?
No, no, no. He did. He did.
Yeah.
It's all love
Begrudgingly.
with New York Rick.
Could you imagine?
But man, you know what was crazy?
Yes, go ahead.
At the weigh-in,
Yeah.
at the weigh-ins when I saw Sean Shelby, I told him like, "Hey, do you remember me from UFC 202? I came down to the stands to like propose like I'm ready to fight for the UFC." And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
after my spinning back fist. And he's like, "I actually do remember." And I'm like, "Man, look at me now." And he's like, it's crazy how time flies, right? I'm like, this is nuts.
But you willed this into existence. You didn't give up. You kept going. You kept fighting. You never lost your hunger. You never lost your desire, your motivation. It's really an impressive thing, and especially after what we learned when you were in studio about the anxiety. You're an inspiration, my man. So kudos to you. Congratulations. Enjoy the victory. Enjoy Florida, and of course, good luck getting that fight against John Lineker, whether it's in Atlantic City or maybe a little later on. Love that fight, and I love that fight for you. So well done, and thank you for the freestyle at the top there. It's not often we get exclusive freestyles here.
I'm a man of my word. I told you I was gonna bring you something next
That's
time.
right.
So
All right, thank you, Brian. All the best to you. We'll talk to you soon. Congrats again.
thanks, Harry. I appreciate it. Boom.
There he is, Boom Kelleher in the house.